So we're talking about struggle. So the first thing, whenever you're struggling in anything, and guys, I mean, this is wholesaling specific, but you can use this for any part in your life. Okay. So when you are struggling, you have to find a way to take action. Okay. And this is the part where you just start freezing everything you do. And what drives me nuts is if you do not take any action, you're just going to spiral your negative thoughts out of control. You're like, oh my God, wholesaling's not working, or what am I doing? The really weird thing about wholesaling, especially in the beginning, is you spend so much time taking massive amounts of actions and moving massive momentum, and you don't feel like you get the results. And that's normal. Real estate does take some time. You've got to talk to a lot of motivated sellers, but once you get the actions going, it's going to give you the results you want. Okay. Now, these take some time. I'd like to tell you, you get home tonight and there's a duplex sitting in your driveway. It doesn't work that way in wholesaling. Okay. The problem is the minute you decide that because you're overwhelmed and you're confused, I don't feel right with the actions what I'm doing, so I'm just going to stop. Okay. So let me equate this to something we all deal with. You talk about like losing a little bit of weight. Everybody, listen, we could all stand to use a few pounds, but the actions that get you to gaining weight is eating more foods that you're not supposed to be eating or eating often, and inactivity. And so if you got to get active and you got to cut back on your food, those are the actions. If you stop doing that, what happens? The results get worse and it spirals out of control. And that's what you have to stop in wholesaling. So the first thing we are going to focus on is the actions you have to take to prevent your struggle in wholesaling. Because I promise you this, if you don't take any action, it'll only get 10 times worse. And here's the brave part of wholesaling. You have to take action in spite of results that you are not getting, because the only way you can get the results is with a massive amount of action. It's ironic. It's weird. You're going to have to trust in the system because that's what it's going to take. So the first thing is, let's just talk about actionable steps. I know this is going to sound basic, but I'm telling you, you have to talk to, let's see, how can I put this? Ugly house owners. Okay. So no, that's the action. So let's get into the specifics of what you do. You need quantity because most of us lacked experience in the beginning. So how do we make it up? You're going to need a lot of quantity. So if you think you can talk to 100 ugly house sellers, here's what I'm going to tell you need to do right off the bat. Forget the 100 and look for 500. Okay. 100 is not enough to even get you a deal. And so many people don't want to talk about this. You have to talk to a ton of people. If you are in your first 90 days of a wholesaling journey, the biggest cure when you're struggling is quantity. Now, this doesn't work so much on the cash buyer side, but on the motivated seller side, you have to do that. Number two, I want you to understand, only with motivated sellers. Why do I tell you this? Because talking to 500 unmotivated people that are just selling their house for retail does not count towards your 500 prospects for ugly homes. Okay. How am I going to get 500 prospects to have a shot at doing a motivated deal? Well, guys, this is really easy. Okay. So these two are combined. So we're going to jump down to number 3. Government lists are going to be your highest probability. Okay. And which, you know what? I meant to share my screen with you guys. I didn't do it. So we talked about action. Government lists are going to be your highest motivation. Okay. I'm writing like an idiot and you guys weren't even looking. Why do I say this, guys? Because you are in a market that's really pulling back, and government lists, not only are they free, they have tons of motivation. Okay. The more motivation you're going to have, the more pain points, the better you're going to do in this business. Okay. I like these lists. The reasons you guys don't hear about these lists a lot, because they're free, and most gurus can't really sell you anything. And then that's how they have to do it. Let me get the spammers and fix it. Like, these bots are really, really good. Okay. Okay. I fixed it. Thanks, guys. So government list, you have to attack. Now, if you want to know which government list, let's just dive into it. You're like, oh, I've never heard of a government list. So go over to freewholesaling.com. I got it right up on the screen, scrolling on the bottom. Okay. The best government list You guys know how I feel about probate. I would say that's number one. Number two, code violations. Let me see as far as all my other lists. I could go down. Evictions, they're really hot right now. And you're going to get all these are from your local courthouse. And then tax delinquencies. So when I'm talking to you guys, hey, Rick, I'm really struggling in wholesaling. This is why me and Zach constantly go through this exercise for you. How's your tax delinquency list? How's your code violations? Did you pull the eviction list? Did you do the arrest records? Yeah, arrest records. Okay. Fire damage. I said I'd slow down on my handwriting, but I want to talk to you guys opposed to writing. Water shut off. Okay. Guys, this list goes on and on. Of all these lists, I told you I'd speak to 500 ugly houses. You got to total these to 1,000. Because the reality is if you have a list of 1,000, you have about a 25% connection rate. That's going to lead to 250, which should give you a shot at one good wholesale deal. Okay. Do you understand why you need quantity? Without quantity, you are going to struggle to hit your numbers as a wholesaler. Okay. So your biggest cure in the first 90 days, and this, I've never met somebody in the first 90 days that didn't qualify for this. You have to increase your quantity. If you get on a live with me today, go, well, Rick, I'm in my second month and I'm struggling. I'm going to go and rip you through these lists and I'm going to make you give me the real numbers. And if you want the truth, I'm going to tell you where you're missing and what you have to do to fix it. And all likelihood, I'm going to tell you to increase the odds hugely. Okay. But let's not stop there. Let's talk about the paid list. Okay. So on a paid list, you guys know the ones I'm talking about, reilist.com. Zach data. I'll put them on the screen for you. But basically, in these, you guys get 10,000 leads for a very minimal price. I think under $100. Try the free trial version before you do it. But I'm just telling you, I couldn't operate my business today without it because I used to pay almost a quarter per lead before I had services like this when I started in 2003. So my question is always going to be, have you utilized your 10,000? How do you utilize your 10,000? Real simple. Pull the vacant list. And these are all in your filters. Pull in the zombie property list. Those are your vacant foreclosures. High equity. Okay. If you don't know how to do high equity, go to freewholesaling.com. I give you my exact formula I use in my current business today to absolutely kill it. And I don't just say kill it. Like, guys, I do deals. I run a full wholesaling operation. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've always relied on high equity. It's not the only one I do, but it works really well. I have all the stuff, all the filters in there. I'm like, oh, I got to pay a guru $10,000 to figure out the formula. I just give it to you for free. Why? Because I believe in you guys. I believe I can help more people out. And in return, in the long run, you guys will help me out, build my legacy, and let me get in touch with everybody in the entire world and let them know what I do. The more people I help, the more people I can partner with. And I create a huge win-win situation because I helped you guys out when nobody else would bear to help you out unless you wrote them a big fat check. And I don't have a problem with writing a people a check, but I do with wholesaling because I've been doing this so long. I know how to teach you guys. You don't need massive amounts of instructions. You just need a wholesaler that you can follow and do step-by-step exactly what they do. And that's what me and Zach teach you on the deal. So, and then basically I'm going to take these lists. Okay. Once you have these lists, and I'm going to do reverse driving for dollars. I don't know how to abbreviate that. $4. And if you don't know how to do that, go over to freewholesaling.com. It's basically teach you to take a sticky note, put a note on the door. Hey, I got a quick question about your property, your name. You put your virtual phone number on there and they call you. That way you can manage your time and you only deal with the people that are even interested in calling you back. Now, back when I started like a dodo, I knocked on every door and it'd take me 6 hours to get through it. Now you can bang it out probably less than an hour by doing it the smart way. Okay. And last but not least, guys, please do not forget this. Okay. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything on that. Quantity. I can't change the pen color. There we go. Okay. The last one's going to be networking. Okay. Now, if you haven't had a chance, try to go to your local RIAs. By the way, I love local RIAs. Anybody has a local RIA and you want me to like swing by and like hang out, I love just to hang out and really observe. I'm not one of these people who has to get on a stage and speak, and I don't wear a jacket or do anything like that. But I love to just like mingle. I spent my first 5 years in RIAs and I loved every minute. I even opened up my own RIA. That RIA is still going on successfully without me. And I just can help more people outside like the local RIA. But local RIA is a great place to get leads, to talk to hard money people, talk to cash buyers, and talk to other people getting started just like you. I love RIAs. If it's 15, 20 bucks to get into it, just pay it. It's well worth it. It costs them money to set this up. And then also your title companies, guys. You've got to be spending time with your title companies and realtors. Okay. I've already told you with realtors, you're not looking for every realtor out there. You're looking for ones that will work with investors. I typically find the people just starting out or the people that are just winding down their careers because they have a fascination with real estate investing. Don't ever start out by telling them you're a wholesaler because it usually doesn't work out well with that. So guys, I'm here today to talk to anything you're struggling about wholesaling and everything. I guarantee you all your problems when it comes down to it is going to wind up being a quantitative issue.